Yeah, man.
What's up, kid?
What's happening? What's happening, y'all? Y'all good? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can hear you. Sound
All right,
clear.
good. Sometimes my pods be tripping. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, got one more. Let's gonna get started. Welcome to Who Knew, where you can't say who knew when I'm telling the truth. My name is Delonte, and I'm gonna go ahead and introduce my guest. We'll start off with Shay. Just give your name, your age, and what you do for a living.
Uh, my name's Shay. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm 27 years old.
Okay,
So
okay.
what I
Well,
do,
what type of business you got? What type of
I
business you got? You don't let the world know. Pub your
move,
stuff.
moving and logistics, a trucking company and a moving company.
Okay, okay. Where can they check you out at?
You can check me out at www.justmovedfw.com, and then the trucking company just got an IG, justlogisticstexas.com. I mean, just logistics
Okay,
Texas.
okay. I'll put that. It's gonna be a link under the video. And Kev, same question: name, age, and what you do for a living.
What up? My name is DJ Kev. My age is I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Oh my goodness, man! Don't be like that now,
Like that.
because
All
you
right, yeah,
know
man.
women like older men. You might as well.
That's what's up. I ain't doing no tripping. My name is DJ Kev. I'm 40 years old. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
I I work every day and I DJ full time. I'm a full time employee and I'm a full time entrepreneur at the same time.
Okay, okay.
And you can
So we're gonna
check
do.
me.
We're gonna just jump straight into it, man. All right. First question of the day, what people been waiting on, that I've been posting about. Man, are your children a liability or asset to a relationship? I want to hear, what your thoughts is for women, get into a relationship, and for men. Now, I am gonna get started with. I'm gonna let Shay. I'm gonna let you go first. You gave your answer. I'm gonna let you go first. Let me pin this.
Man, I don't think they're a liability. Cause I mean, a lot of the women that I know, they make sure that their kids are well taken care of on their own, so they don't really ask me, what I'm saying, to do nothing. But I'm here if they need me, so I don't
Mhm.
really see them as a liability. That's just my
I
opinion.
got you. Okay, okay. I ain't go. Okay, so you don't think they a liability? What about you, Kev? Asset or liability?
I agree with Shay because I'm in the same boat. The women that I meet, they already what they like to call themselves independent, and they already got all that situated, and
Yeah.
they really just want that male figure around. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? With a son or a daughter, it is more or less. I know this is more or less so when it's a son, but
Okay.
some of them kind of hold back. You know what I mean when they come
Yeah.
to their children on that. What of course any mother would do or a father would do because I'm in the same situation to where I meet women, but I give a lot of them the cold shoulder when it comes to meeting my children. I don't just bring anybody around my children.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
do you believe I'm gonna ask you from the women aspect and from the men. So women that bring children into a relationship, do you think they're an asset to that relationship or a liability if we had to choose one? Which one do you think it's gonna be in your opinion?
Hmm. Honestly, I think what I'm saying they could be an asset
Okay.
to the relationship because they're offspring from what it is that you represent. So
What
it's
it is
another
that you
side of
represent or what they represent?
what the no what you represent because they're offspring of what you've been teaching them. So say for instance, the what I'm saying your son or daughter is alone with the person in a relationship. They're gonna
Hmm.
see you through them because that's what you've been raising before, what I'm saying, before you
Okay.
met. So if you've been
So
raising
me
up,
as a man looking at a woman, you're
mhm.
saying that that child is an asset to our relationship because I can see what type of person they are through their child. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not gonna say 100% see who they
But
is, but you get a different, I'm saying, you get a different version of that person because
okay.
people who have children, I know most of like myself, I see myself in my children with the things that, you know what I'm saying, that they do. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
how
When
you
we,
raise them and stuff.
yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So it's certain things that my son does that reminds me of myself. It's things that my daughter does that reminds me of myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so if they with somebody, then I'm pretty sure they're going, you know what I'm saying, they're going to portray the same thing. You know, it's one thing that my children share alike, and it's undeniable, is that they don't talk to you a lot when they first meet you.
Okay.
They
So pretty
interact.
much if you see a woman with bad behind kids, you look at them, hey, somewhat, I gotta look at you a little bit on that too.
Yeah, I want to know really what's going on at your crib because you letting
Okay.
your kids do whatever. Like you don't really have too much. I hate to use the word control, but you don't
Yeah.
have, you know, you don't have a lot of structure.
Structure in your household. Okay. Okay. So that's some pretty good answers. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give the definitions first because words matter. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of times we think into our feelings as far as in what I see people have conversations, and so I want to at least put the words out there. Liability, one that acts as a disadvantage, asset, an advantage, or a resource. Right. So on your aspect from a man's point of view, having kids, stuff like that. You have kids, I have kids. Does our children give us an advantage in a relationship over other men? Um, from my aspect, me living as a man, I will have to say, yes, our children do give us a little bit of advantage over these type of concepts. Typically, if you see a man that has a child that's raising his child and is a good parent and stuff of that nature, uh, women typically look at him like that he's security because he's protecting his child, he's providing for his child, he's showing those type of tendencies that they are attracted to. You know what I mean? Like, man, he's a good father. Those are things that are more attractive, depending on how you raising your child. It's just an attraction trait. So I do think that a child can be a asset for a man's point of view getting into a relationship. Give me 1 second. Get this one more time. But so somebody trying to add. So that's from that point of view. I do believe that it could be an advantage. Now on the flip side, though, you do have to realize this: a woman in these type of situations, same predicament. They have a child, they take care of their child, and stuff of that nature. Men don't look at that as necessarily advantage because we don't necessarily look at women as more of security or anything of that nature. That's just a child that you have, but I'm attracted to you. I see you first. So that's not necessarily a asset adding value, meaning that child is a resource or thing that's gonna give me an advantage over the next person. Typically, it does give you a little bit of a disadvantage because if I had to choose between a woman that has no children, the same aspects, and a woman that has children, of course, we choose to tailor more towards the woman that doesn't have children if they have the same attributes coming to the table. And the difference is between the guys, if the guys have the same attributes, what the women see first is that you showing the security and the provision for a child. You already take care of a human being, and they're more prone to do stuff that they wouldn't be prone to do with other guys. They're more prone to feel a little bit more comfortable around you because they see you with the child. They're like, okay, he's not completely crazy. And when I was out here single, I might have had the same game and the same techniques, but I'm out here. They don't feel as comfortable with me because they don't see me interact or protecting anything. So I do believe it can be an advantage for a guy, and my belief as far as a disadvantage for a woman. As you see, a lot of men have a hard time, dating. You know, if you got multiple children or over like two children, that starts to bother a guy because we have to think about. Eventually, we have to think about, hey, if we do want to move forward, regardless if you're an independent woman or not, they're going to be living up under my roof, and eventually, I am going to have to be there for you. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if y'all have any feedback on that, I'm willing to hear it.
I just think that come from like if you see the relationship is like you know what I'm saying. So if you're not going into a relationship long
You
term,
breaking up a little bit, Shay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, if
yeah,
you dealing with somebody and you know it's gonna be like a long-term relationship, you plan on being with that person for,
uh-huh.
then I think that you know what I'm saying, that's gonna carry some weight. Because, like you say, you end up living with those kids, you're gonna end up being a provider for them.
Yeah. So when you think about it, though, when women look at men, they look at the potential for relationships. They don't look at it our concept the way we look at it, and that's why I talk about this all the time when I be out about. Man, we don't look at you first and be like, oh man, I want to marry you, or man, this would be so awesome for us to get into a relationship. We don't look at it like that. Oh, you could be my dream woman. No, looking at it, hey, let me maneuver how I'm gonna maneuver to get what I get.
Nah, for
And then
sure.
if it leads to more than that, it just leads to more of that. It's like that. It is what it is. I'm gonna see how you operate while we together. And is that true, or how do y'all feel about that?
Nah, that's 1,000. For sure, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. So that's how I look at it, and that's the reason why I always talk in assets and liabilities, because at the end of the day, we're not gonna, if we see a girl out with her child, we're not gonna think nothing about it. We ain't thinking about that we gotta provide or nothing like that for that child. We're not even thinking about necessarily dealing with the child. If the child coming around, if we gotta deal with them, we gotta deal with them. But that's just not automatically on our mind, because we understand, hey, we get to this point, I'm gonna look at you. And then once it gets after, the intercourse, you add value to my life and you're doing stuff around for me, then I have to look at, all right, what we got to do to move forward? Like, am I going to have to? We're going to live up under my roof, my rule. Are you ready to acclimate to me? How are you going to move forward? So that does jump me over into the next question, which is, do you think you should work on yourself to get in a serious commitment or marriage? If so, what should you do and what results are you looking for? So this time I'm going to go with you, Kev. Do you believe that you should work on yourself? I'm gonna start with the first question. Do you believe that you should work on yourself to get into a serious commitment or relationship?
I think you should have some self work on yourself before you get into a relationship, because you gotta actually know what it is that you're capable of, to even to put yourself in a situation with somebody else. If you don't know about you and you don't know how to love yourself, how is it you gonna care and love for somebody else? Because you gonna be looking for love and happiness, quote unquote, from that person all the time, and that's not their job in a relationship. You gotta first
Mm,
be happy with yourself in order to be productive and healthy in a good relationship.
that's powerful right there. I like that. I like that. Now I do have a question for you. In regards to that, do you believe women have to work on themselves too to be in a serious commitment or relationship? I think
Yeah,
both parties.
I believe it goes both ways, because
Okay.
I'm serious. That what I said for the man, it goes for the woman too. Because anytime, have you ever seen somebody that's always negative or is always unhappy about something,
Yeah.
male or female? What's the first thing everybody say about them? I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be around them. So how the hell that person gonna be in a relationship with somebody and they unhappy all the time? You know, they be mad for no reason. You're like, what's wrong with you? Nothing.
Yeah.
But you got a whole mad demeanor about yourself, or I don't want nobody around me. Don't nobody want to be like that. That's not inviting. Don't nobody want to be around that.
All
I
right.
know.
Same question for you, Shay. I think I know your answer, but I want to hear it though.
Yeah, man, for sure. I know, like, in my situation, I'm used to being by myself a lot. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm
Hmm.
in a serious relationship, having to actually somebody else before I do something or make a move, it can cause problems sometimes because I can be a little selfish. I just know that about myself. You know, I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and
Yeah.
sometimes like people might not like that. So I believe that both of y'all should work on yourself before you try to.
I like that. So I see neither one of you guys believe that a woman, you should be able to accept her for who she is.
No, you
She
should
doesn't have
accept
to.
who she is, but at the
So
same
just
time,
accept
you
her.
got, now you should accept the person who they is, but at the same time, she can't be so self-absorbed to where she don't want to
you know what I'm saying, incorporate any kind of change. Don't want to, you know what I'm saying, feel like she got to compromise is the words I'm looking for. If she
Well,
didn't
I do have to say this, man. I see this a lot that I see women talk about it. I mean, at the different clubs that I worked at, they say this that they might have built a man up, he becomes successful, and then he becomes successful or whatever, then he leaves them. And typically, when I talk to them, I try to see if the guy ever, set any boundaries, or the guy ever say, "Hey, I need you to do this, I need you to do that to work on yourself." And typically, the woman say, "I mean, yeah, but I was like this when they met me. Why do I have to change if that was like this when they met me?" So do you think that that's acceptable, or do you think women should better themselves just like men better themselves for a relationship? Like you said, compromise. I mean, I'm compromising myself to better myself because you said these are the areas I need to work in, and you gave me help. Now I'm trying to turn it around on you, like, hey, these are the areas you need to work in, and I'm trying to give you help, and you looking like, no, you need to accept me. You met me this way.
right,
You know how they say you can't tell such and such into a housewife.
yeah,
The main thing, let me go ahead. See with Chris. The main reason is because they're not willing to change. You met me as a dancer. Why do I have to stop dancing? You met me on IG, wearing no clothes, not having on nothing, shaking my butt. You met me like this. Why do I have to change? Because you got better.
yeah,
And
I dealt with that.
they in their mind, they think that you have to settle for that because they told you to change and you changed. They told you, hey, you're not making enough money. You went and
right,
upped your bread. You start focusing yourself, getting on your purpose, getting your pockets right. Now you're like, hey, baby, you was with me while I was down. I want you to be with me while I'm up. Hey,
right,
I need you to stop doing this. I need you to stop posting these naked behind pictures on Instagram. I
right,
need you to stop. I need you to stop this. Whatever you doing, I need you to stop operating like that. Stop going all these girls trips with all these dudes and stuff. Stop operating like that. And we up. But they're like, no, you met me this way. I don't got a chance for no man. I'm an independent woman. And then you like, all right, bye.
yeah. I feel,
So how do we deal with that?
you know what I'm saying? I feel like that would be a respect thing because
Ooh,
anybody, you know what I'm saying, that
heavy
has
words.
that has a self-respect for a relationship, y'all met as two single people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
once you get together, all the single stuff that you was doing, that ain't the same. Now, needless to say, if you're an entertainer or something like that, you have to entertain people. That's why you're doing what it is you're doing. So if you're a dancer or a singer or actor or whatever it
yeah,
is, that's how you making your money, or that's how, you know what I'm saying, that's a passion of yours. That's something that you do. But on a personal aspect, on the that's a whole respect thing. But I got a man now, so y'all not gonna see me in my bikini on IG and Facebook no more.
yeah,
Him same way. I got a lady now, so y'all not gonna see me in my wife beater, you know what I'm saying? Just no shirt off, showing off all my tattoos, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Or on that. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's just a respect thing. Because men and women alike will be like, damn, fool, your girl fine as hell. And every man know, soon as another man say, your girl fine as hell, he wanna holler at her. Or if he say, if she he want to talk to her. Same thing with a female. Oh, girl, he got a brother. Then if you ever notice, when females hear that, they stop messing with that girl that said that. I don't fool with her no more. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So
yeah.
you have to pay attention to the language that, you know what I'm saying, that they give out.
I do want to push back a little bit on the entertainer aspect when you said that though.
Mhm.
So let me say this: just because you're an entertainer, do I have to be like, let's say if a woman's an entertainer, let's say she's a dancer and she's making six figures as a dancer, because I know a lot of these IG dancers be saying they're making six figures, so I'm gonna just go with that. Or OnlyFans making six figures, right? So now they talk about you need to get your pockets right, stuff like that, and they help you. Let's say they add value and help you get your pockets right, right? You get your pockets right, you're like, man, I just finally learned how to be more masculine. I finally developed some of these traits, and now you know I want to be with you. But it's some things that I just can't tolerate now that I'm operating in a better mindset. Now I have a clearer mindset. I've worked on myself mentally, physically, and now I worked on myself money wise, so I could be security. Now, do I have to accept the fact that I'm not happy with your entertainment, or is it? Do I give you a choice? Hey, I don't want you to do this anymore. Am I wrong if you choose to say, hey, I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing because I'm independent, I've been getting my money, I'm an entertainer, this is what I do for work. I'm gonna keep doing that. And if I'm not satisfied with that, am I wrong for leaving? Because that's what I'm seeing now. These guys talk about these guys can't handle these ambitious, successful women. I'm making just because I shake a little butt, or just because I do this on OnlyFans. You met me like this. I don't understand, and they not comprehending. So, is it wrong that I leave a woman like that?
I'm gonna let Shane answer first, then I'm answer.
Okay.
And I think so, because sometimes I feel like when you grow as a person, you kind of outgrow certain people, certain situations. Like when I was
Mm-hmm.
younger, what I'm saying, I had a relationship with somebody that was kind of in that light. And as I got older and I got more established myself, it's almost like I don't want a woman in that, you know what I'm saying, in that industry
In
no
that
more.
lifestyle,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want that no more. So I don't think it's wrong. You're wrong for that. Because, I mean, I start getting in the mindset of like, I go to the club a lot. That's how I met you.
Yeah.
If you in the club and you naked, and my partner can come see you naked, or my daddy or my relative can come see you naked, I don't
Yeah.
want that. You know what I'm saying? So
You ain't trying to operate like that.
yeah, I don't think you're wrong for that.
All right. And that's how I'm looking at it, because a lot of women is coming to me and they don't understand like how, you met me like this and now you want me to be different. And in my head, I'm like, just like you want him to be different, women judge men more harsher than men judge women. You got to think about it. They tell you too short. I can't change that. What do you mean? I cannot change that. You're talking about me on something I can't change. Men do never Men never operate that way. But if we were to call you, hey, I'm sorry, we can say it nicely. You out of shape, and I'm just not attracted to that. You can change that. You can work out. You can get in shape.
Yeah.
But we fat shaming because you had a nerve to fat shame. Look at you. You didn't say look at me when you wanted my number. Like,
But I
come
mean,
on.
I think they do us the same way though. But they do it. I want to say like with finances. Like they feel like
Yeah,
as a man,
you
you gotta have.
broke.
Yeah, like if you broke, I can't mess with you. So
You know
I
the
feel like as
difference
a man,
is
you
though,
got the right to
we
be picky.
accept it.
Yeah, I feel like you
We
got the
okay
right to
with
be
that. We
picky.
like, all right, you know something, let me get my pockets right. We learn from situations. We try to calibrate ourselves because we have to study women to learn how to get them. So we be like, okay, forget you. Let me do what's me working on myself is going to inherently make you more attractive to me. So let me just get my bag. You feel me?
Nah, for
But
sure.
it's not the same around. It's like they don't got to. So I'm trying to see where are we gonna flip the script, when we gonna start holding a little bit more accountability. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
And
I got a home. Can I key in on that what you just said
yeah, I
about?
definitely want to hear you. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know how they taught you in school how to pay attention to context clues when things are happening. You know how you can pay attention to context clues.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the difference between the woman that wants you for what you have and the woman that wants you for you, they give you context clues. The
Mm-hmm.
woman that wants you for what you have is always, what can we go and do this? When can we go and shop? Well, I mean, how many overtime hours did you work this week? The woman that wants you for you is gonna say stuff like, hey, we need to spend time together. When can we go on a date night? Won't you just come won't you just come and chill with me? I don't, and they'll say this a lot. I don't want nothing that you got. But we don't hear that because we so used to the other one that wants to see, okay, well, you made $65,000, but Shane over here making $96,000, you know what I'm saying, driving trucks. We used to the women that's talking like that. So we feel like every woman that we going out there is thinking about our finances. But that the woman that said it asking for the time and the date nights and stuff like that, we see her, we hear her, but at the same time, you think going on a date, I gotta spend money. I did it at one in particular time where a woman was asking me to go on a date. I'm using myself as an example because I can only talk about myself. The
Mm-hmm.
whole time on this date, I'm thinking, oh, she want to go over here. Oh, that place is expensive. I get there, she's there before me with a
Yeah.
table, and I'm looking for her, and they tell, oh well, she left your name here. Okay, so we'll get to the table. Um, I was asked first, what do you want? I always say ladies order first. She was like, no, this is about you. You order what you want, and then I got this. Just enjoy yourself. It wasn't brand new to me, and it don't happen all the time. It's more or less on the other thing. Hey, can I take what's the little thing going on right now? Can you take me on a date, baby?
Yeah.
You want to take me on a date? But I mean, that's what you're used to hearing the women asking you. But when they turn around and flip the script and they want to treat you, want to treat you out, then you it's French, so to speak. You don't understand it. But like I said, it's context clues to the different women, the ones that want you for what you can give, and the ones that want you for who you are. It's a difference. You can tell on it.
So I'm gonna respond to you, then I'm gonna introduce our guest. So in regards to that, I do agree with you some way, context clues, but in a different matter though. I do agree with the context clues. So, and this is how I operated when I was single, and now this I can say it worked. So what I looked for was someone that was adding value to my life in a way that I needed them to add value to my life, because there's so many different things. A woman's designed to look for some form of security, regardless if they want to say how independent. As you know, these women that's making over $100,000 a year, they're still looking for men that make more than them. I mean, it's just what it is. They designed to look for security. So I don't look too much into that. What I look more into is when I'm with you, after we get past all the sex and all that, how are you adding value to my life? Like what do you where do you help me at that I am lacking, that I couldn't do on my own, or that I don't do on my own? Where is that at? Because that's what I pay attention to. That's the context clues that I'm paying attention to. Because if we're going out on dates and stuff of that nature, when are you going to be mindful for me? Are you helping me build my bag that I'm making to be able to provide these dates, provide these first? Are you filling out the paperwork that I need you to fill out? Are you requesting the payoffs for me? Are you making the phone calls to the banks to ask for these grants? Are you see me? I gotta go. I'm gonna go work out. Are you buying me a gym bag? Make sure I have snacks. Are you adding value to my life?
More.
Because if I'm just sleeping with you, I could continue to do that for the rest of my life. Period. I continue to do that. What I'm gonna do, let me go ahead and introduce. Go ahead, Pat. Introduce yourself. Get your
Yeah,
first name. Let them know what you do for your living. Give them your age.
I'm Pat Jones. I'm a supervisor at the airport. Well, what you say, bro? What else you said?
Your age.
Oh, I'm 30.
Your
I'm 30.
age.
Just had a birthday a couple days ago.
All right, Pisces
Okay.
the good.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked them. I'm gonna get him caught up real quick. All right, you guys. Are your children a liability or asset to a relationship? First, I want to hear from the male perspective, and then I want you to tell me what do you think from the female perspective. Go ahead.
From the male perspective, I feel like it's an asset because
Okay.
if a female see you take care of your kids, they're gonna want you more.
I just that's funny.
Ooh, that's
What?
sexy. I like your relationship with your kids. That's what they say.
Just
Hey,
like
hey, for real though, for
it's an
real. Like
attraction,
you a good father.
yeah, attraction thing, and
So
females seek that. You know what I mean?
okay, okay.
Because they picture art that could be my husband, my baby dad. He's gonna be there for me, type stuff.
Yeah, I remember a while back you tried to take my son to the mall to
Oh
get you
yeah,
some women
you know what
back
I'm
in
saying?
the day.
That's the oldest trick in the book.
Yeah,
That's the oldest trick in the book.
Oh
but
man, that was back in the that was a while
yeah,
back, man. That's funny to me.
yeah.
But
But for male,
so let me ask you this: what about from a woman's perspective? Do you believe now you a man dating a woman? Do you believe that that woman that's bringing that child is that gonna be an asset in your life?
is a liability.
Why? Hey, you the first one that I mean, outside of me. Let me hear why.
I ain't trying to rub
That's
no
the
female
that's
away with kids, man.
Hey, that's the reason today's the all male panel. We just want to hear the truth because they need to
But,
hear it. What's your opinion? I mean, I know you dated plenty of women with kids, so
but you
how
got
do
you got that guy that's overprotective, don't want nobody around their child. One
you?
that, you know what I'm saying, that drama. You know what I'm saying?
So you
Uh,
just thinking about from the drama aspect.
yeah, I don't like drama, but I'll take it there if it gotta go there. But I
Oh
don't.
my goodness, that's too tough for me. But I think that's what I spoke about. I really just before you came on, I talked about what is an asset, what is a liability, and just broke those words down because I think that's what makes a difference. Because once we figure out what the words mean, we realize how something could be an asset or something could be a liability having a child. That's why I spoke to the reasons why, as a man, when you have at least one child, once you get to 5 or 6 children, bro, I ain't gonna lie, you might be out of there. That attraction to
But
get
it
six
really
kids.
depends where you from, though. If you it got like if you never been outside of your city, you know what I'm saying, and females know you around your city, it doesn't matter how many kids you had, they still gonna be attracted to you. But
But is it gonna be the woman that you? Is it gonna be the woman that you literally sought after that you want? Is gonna be attracted to you? And I can give this aspect, Shay. You dealt with a lot of women before, right?
No, not at all. I
hey,
deal with enough.
Hey, I'm talking about spoken to a lot of women. I'm not even talking
Yeah,
about dating.
yeah. Nah, I'm messing with you. Yeah,
Hey, you see how he came back on me? No, not at all. So you ever heard women like, oh no, any younger woman say, no, I don't date, I ain't dating men with kids. They got too many kids. I'm good. Have you ever heard women say that?
yeah. I heard them say that, man. And I heard them say that because they feel like they. I've heard that they feel like baby daddies always deal with their baby mama, always keep a relationship that
With
not.
their baby mama?
So I've
Yep.
heard that.
So that's and the thing about it is the women that I see, the guys that they've been dating or they have talked to with multiple kids or whatever happened in the past traumas that made them view it this way, it's usually because the guy has a lot of baby mamas and they constantly going back, having intercourse with these different baby mamas and having more children.
Yeah,
But the issue that I have with it, and I'm trying to get, a lot of women to see this concept because majority of men now, currently right now, are single and childless. That's crazy. So that means that you ain't having sex with majority of men. It's the same select men that y'all all having sex with, that y'all all having children with.
yeah,
When you start figuring that out, hey, you dealing with this man with six. You already had sex with this man that got 6 kids with 4 different baby mamas. You have to correct yourself. Why you keep going after this type of man, and then you blaming other men that you're meeting that are good men for these type of guys? You already seen. He showed you what it was, and you still accepted that. So I'm trying to preach to the different mindset. Like, hey, it's majority of men actually are single and childless, and majority of men are middle class now. Majority of black men are middle class, by the way,
yeah.
and majority of black men are single and childless. That's a statistic. So when we say ain't no good men out here, that's a lie.
hey, you gotta
Right
play.
now, majority of women currently right now, majority of women are morbidly obese, meaning they're not really physically fit. So even when I talk to these women, I say, hey, you already doing a good job by staying fit. It's hard for women to do that. Women in general of all races. Now, as far as it going into submissive, cooperative, loyalty, and all that, that's you gotta. Hey, it's you gotta work on that. I mean, I had to work on that, and I'm married now. I had to have my wife, understand, talk to her, and pretty much vet her the entire time to get her to acclimate to me. Because she'll tell you to this day, she wasn't always submissive. She wasn't always cooperative. But I wasn't going to marry her either until she became that. Because I
Yeah.
needed somebody that wasn't going to argue with me. I'm going to argue with the world. I'm going to go out there and work. I'm going to do my thing. When I come home, I'm not trying to have no argument. I'm trying to have some help. You feel me?
Yeah. That come from you. You working on yourself too, like we was talking about earlier. Though you prepared yourself to be who she needed to. Though. You know what I'm
Yeah, because like I said, I did say this, and my boy Pat know this as well. I did ask her what does she need to be happy in a marriage, and I listened for how much time and how much money it would take, because typically men love women. You need your woman to respect you. That's why I was so happy that Kev said respect, because that's a big component. If a girl did not respect you, she is gonna look the other way. I don't care how much money you got. If she don't respect you, she be like, "Oh yeah, my dude is a boss man, man." As soon as something happened, a blimp, she gone. Because the
saying? Man,
one thing I can say is my wife respects me. If something happens or whatever, she's gonna stay there. She gonna help me because she know I'm gonna be able to get it back. She already seen where I'm at. She already seen what I'm doing. She's seen how I gained my value. She built up that respect for me. Like I know how to. Even though I make the decisions in our relationship, she know if I make a bad decision or something like that, I'm going to account for it. And that was hard for her to relinquish that type of control to me. Because it's like, dang, man, you in charge of all of our lives, me and my child. You make a bad decision, it affects me. But she's going to give me her opinion. Hey, this is the route we got to go. Then she has to trust me to go down the whatever route that I choose. She has to trust me because I'm choosing for the family. And she got
okay.
to know, hey, if I mess up, I'm going to make sure we good. She has to trust you to that extent. And that's when I believe, hey, it's time to go to marriage. You trust me. It's like trusting a guy with your life because I wanted to die for mine. And typically, a woman, man, if you in a committed relationship or you looking for her for marriage, you willing to die for that girl. You see how many dude? I just seen something on Instagram the other day. Dude called another dude and said, "Hey, I'm just letting you know. I know you slept with my girl. Hey, I'm willing to die, kill, and do everything for her. Are you willing to do that? If not, stop talking to her." I'm over here like, dang.
That, that ain't me though. I ain't gonna take
Yeah,
it there.
that shit
It's
hard.
like that's crazy. But you gotta think about it. And that's one of the things back in the day, I would never even when I was sick, I was never talking to a married woman. I would never talk to a married woman because in my head, bro, that husband would die for you. Like he loved you. He married you, he loved you. For him to marry you, he had to love you. Because it's sometimes hey, that deal, that risk of leaving is vicious. So he had to really love you and think you by his side. So I'm sorry. I ain't about to put my life at risk. Same with names. A girl got a name on her. I used to leave them alone too. You said, who was that? Leroy, where he at? He in jail still? I mean, go ahead. We go ahead and move around, fam. I don't got no time for no stalkers. I'm
Yeah.
good. And I'm gonna give my boy Pat the other question. I just want to so we only answered the first part of it. Do you think you should work on yourself to get in a serious commitment or marriage? If so, what should you do and what results are you looking for? I just want you to answer the first part. Do you think you should work on yourself to get into a serious commitment or relationship? I want to hear the man's version, and I want to hear what you think women should do.
Uh, you talking to the Pat now or the Pat back in the day?
The Pat now. I want to hear Pat now,
Yeah,
not
you got.
Pat back in the day.
Yeah,
That's terrible. I do not want to hear Pat back in the day.
got. You gotta work on yourself.
Okay, yeah,
You know,
I'm glad you said that.
you got
Okay,
yourself, man.
that's you think for men and women they need to work on themselves.
You so for sure. But
Okay,
back in the day, I ain't no working. Don't need to be working. We figure out. Oh,
I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna say, man. I used to operate like that, and I talked about it on other shows. Like, hey, if you ain't do nothing outside of sex, bro, I was keeping it moving, man. It's not even that deep. I ain't about to waste my time. I kept it 100. And I actually think that was the best thing that I could have ever did, man, is keep it moving because a lot of these women wasn't bringing nothing. And
that's.
my penalty was I had to pay for a date. Your penalty is I'm walking away from you. That's really what it is.
I
And what
used to.
I said this a long time ago. I said the hard part is not going to be the sex and nothing like that. The hard part is when I leave you. That's gonna be the hard part. When I leave you alone, that's gonna be the hard part. And that's the reality of what this world is today. The reality is I need women to understand that, hey, that guy that's going on a date with you, he is going to want sex. But what you got to do is you got to figure out a way either to add value before sex so he can see you, or after sex immediately add value to keep him. Because our job is to get you. That's our job. We show you our value. We put it on the table. Hey, I'm taking you on dates. I'm doing this. I'm showing you what I could do for you. I'm showing you what my potential is. Now, what are you going to do? It's your job to retain us. If you're not going to retain us, what's the point? It's like if I wanted to keep a puppy around to take care of, I get a puppy. But I don't want no puppy. I want a wife. And I think a lot of women don't realize it says he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Not he who finds a girlfriend, not he who finds a bad bee, not he who finds a dancer, it's he who finds a wife. That makes a difference.
The real
And I
question,
know a lot of people don't really believe, oh, that doesn't mean that you have to be a wife beforehand. Well, you need to exhibit some wifely qualities, because how am I supposed to know you're a wife? I mean, I'm exhibiting husband qualities by showing you how I can secure you. And then you might catch me in a fight if somebody disrespects you in front of me. Like, you seeing my qualities already. And it definitely doesn't say who finds a husband. Because it's already understood that we got to provide. That's understood.
do you feel like,
Society is right now, that's why I keep telling people, social constructs does not adhere to reality. Society is telling a woman, be independent, go ahead, forget being in a relationship, forget marriage, forget all that. Focus on your goals, go to college, get your education, get your degrees, get a job, do all this, and then worry about marriage in your late 30s. Well, I ain't gonna lie. When we in our late 30s and I got my bag together, I'm sorry, I want a legacy. And last time I checked, um, after the age of 35, you pretty much lost the majority of your eggs, and it's high risk pregnancy. So that is a bad deal. It's a bad deal. So I do, hey, keep, and then you got to think about it. When you're doing all this and you're not focusing on marriage and you're not focused on getting anybody, what you doing? Racking up bodies. Because you having sex during this whole time period before you're 35. You're racking up bodies and you're racking up kids. And then I couldn't get you at your best where you was between the ages of 24 to 28. I couldn't get you there. I got you when you're 35 and you ran through a couple of Larrys and had about 4 kids, and you like, I'm ready to settle down, hair toe up and everything. I get you then. So, but I got 5 degrees and I'm in about $30,000 worth of debt, and I'm not using none of these degrees. Nah, that's not the route. That's not the route to go. So I do want to expand on that question before, what I was saying. What should you do, and what results are you looking for? As a man, what do you have to do to get yourself ready for a commitment or a marriage? What do you have to do for yourself, and what results are you looking for you to have once you do the whatever you decide to do to work on yourself? What results are you looking for? Let me start off with Pat.
all right, what you gotta do is you gotta make sure you able to be a provider. You know what I
Okay.
mean? You make 30,000, even 40,000. That ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, back in the day, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought that was it when I was younger.
That ain't it
Yeah.
at all. You got to be able to bring. You got to be able to pay for some things. You know what I'm saying?
So you
And
gotta be a provider. So you saying you need to work on your pockets first?
yeah, for sure,
And then what else you need to do? Is that it? You just need to work on your pockets and you about there?
man. And you got to make sure that woman, female, feel like she protected.
So you gotta you went the security and provisioning part.
Yeah,
Exactly. You gotta work in your pockets, and you gotta. So what you gonna do? Take a class on fighting?
not, not at all. You know how to fight, you good, but you know.
You say make them feel protected.
Yeah,
So, what type of results are you looking for? So, once you work on yourself, what type of results are you looking for in a woman? Like, what are you looking for? Like, where do you want her to be at?
um,
Honestly,
you gotta look good.
you said you got the bare minimum is looking good,
I don't ask for much from a female. Long,
okay?
long, long she loyal, she respect,
Attractive and loyal.
and she respect me. Hey, it is because it is what it is.
I'm gonna leave it at that. You just need attraction and loyalty. Kev, I'm gonna ask you the same question. What should you do, and what results are you looking for to be, married or in a committed relationship? What do you need to do to work on yourself, pretty much?
That's like I said earlier. First, you got to be happy with yourself. You got to be satisfied with who you are before you can even attempt to be with anybody else. If you an unhappy person, it's not gonna work because you
So
look
how do you
for
do that? Like what type? Like if you had to give a guy advice to be happy with himself, what's the best route? What route do a man need to go to be happy?
um like the brother that joined in here a few minutes ago. Like he was saying, you got to be financially stable
Mm,
because you don't want to be the one in the relationship that's being coached. There ain't nothing wrong with being coached to improve
I like
yourself.
that.
If we as men sometimes take women helping us, quote unquote, as nagging, and that could cause
Mm,
a problem. A woman always telling you, why don't you try to do this way to improve yourself, or do it this way. As a man, you don't want to take those type of instructions from a woman all the time. But if you already got your stuff together, or you working on improving yourself while you either with her or when you get with her, you already in that motion. Her making those suggestions not going to seem as demanding or nagging. You're gonna take that as what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Constructive criticism.
yeah, I think what's going to happen is because once you got yourself together, I don't think that you tolerate that as much. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like once you have yourself together, then she start giving you all this criticism stuff like that. I think a lot of men once they have themselves together, they kind of shut it down.
Oh yeah,
When they're successful, they're like, hey, I got this under control. Stop all that. And she's like, oh, okay. Because sometimes some women just like to talk, and some women just want to say, bounce it off of you. You gotta kind of coach her into how to operate with you, and you're able to coach her more when you have yourself together and you're ready for that relationship. You're able to
right.
be a better leader, I guess, and she's more willing to be submissive. It's just at least in our culture, in the black culture, women are more masculine, and just because they were trained to be masculine, because typically majority of people in general, not just men and women, had to grow up in single parent households raised by their
You,
mother,
you
and their mother
that's
had to struggle and do whatever they had to do to take care of them. That's
that's
just
that,
that's
that's
just the
another
reality.
type of there's another type of female that we don't talk about a lot.
Yeah.
This other
So
type of female is the female that's been by herself for so long and been taking care of family with a man, but she's back now single. So
yeah,
she feels like she even if she meets a man that has it together, she feels like she has to be the one to run everything. She
yeah.
she she won't let the new man that has it together. You can be financially stable, you can be all that, you can have all that together, but she's still gonna want to be the one in control because she had to do it in a relationship before that, because the man wasn't strong enough to lead them, so to speak. You understand what I'm saying? So she took the lead and she held on. She holds on to the lead male role, you know what I'm saying, in almost everything that she goes into. Now that, like you were saying, a woman can, so you have to tune a woman to be what it is. You're gonna have to try to rewire that lady in some type of way. And that, I believe that's one of the hardest fights you will ever have. And it could be
Well,
a perfect woman, but she gonna have to be rewired, you know what I'm saying, in order to, you know what I'm saying, to retrain her thinking that, okay, now I have a man that's structured, that can lead me in the right direction that we can go, and we can build together.
and let me be honest. Majority of men, when they get to a certain level of success, they just not gonna want to deal with it. They're gonna say, okay, it's not that
Walk
deep. I just gonna find a woman that's more submissive. that's willing to
Exactly.
acclimate to me. Because you know what happens when you're more successful, more attractive, more assertive, more masculine? You get more choices. You get
Yeah.
more choices. This is what it is. And I run into women like that as masculine, over hyperly aggressive, and I shut it down because I'm focused on my purpose. I'm not focused on, hey, stop all that. Stop. I don't care how cute you are or whatever. Stop all that. That's goofy. You are a female. Chill out. You're not a man. We don't operate like this. It's not gonna be an argument. This is how we're gonna operate. And that's just how I operate, period. And as you know, Kev, you see me around stuff like that. I'm not about to argue with any of these females. It's not a point. It's not gonna lead to anywhere. Because at least men, we understand that threat of danger. We know we can fight dang near to the death. We know that something can lead to death. So it's only so many boundaries that we have crossed. We try to be somewhat respectful with each other, regardless of how much we don't like it. We somewhat come with respect because we know, regardless, that anybody could get that one hit and be gone, life taken. But women don't have that same boundary. They don't know how much carnage men can actually enact on people because they don't see it, because we have men who protect them. Regardless if they want to see it or not, men protect women from other men. That's just what it is in life, in general. If you call the police, majority of women and men would rather see a man police officer than a woman police officer coming in there trying to wrestle this man up off of you. That's just what it is. So that's why I want people to operate in this type of mindset. I'm glad I have a group of men on here so we can talk like this, so people can see the vision. You know what I mean? 100K when you pushing. Oh my goodness. All right, Shay, I'll let you go ahead and answer that. Do you think what do you have to do to be ready for a commitment or marriage and stuff of that nature, and what type of results are you looking for?
Can you hear me? Because this fan just came.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I bet. Man, to be honest, I hate to be that dude, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know because I ain't ready for it. I just know I'm not ready. You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily know what it's gonna take, but I know that I think until I feel like until I can just feel that type of connection with somebody, I don't think that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and me and you talked about this, right? We talked about this, how like it's certain things that you'll be able to see that you'll be like, this dang, okay, that would give you that connection because you see somebody really for you. Right
Right.
now, you focus on your purpose, you focus on getting your bag, you focus on doing this. And if she ain't really on that, you chilling. You
Yeah.
feel me? You ain't really looking for that. And that's the thing. A lot of men, that's why I say, when you get into your purpose and you get into your success, and you're focusing on your drive, at the end of the day, you're gonna have a lot of women that likes you. You're gonna have a lot of women that want to be in your face and do all this. But it's that one that's willing to do something for you, not just talk about it, be about it. A lot of women don't have enough action. They try to help you in what they feel like you need help in, not in necessarily the areas that you are lacking. They're not really trying to be a help me. They just trying to be just a helpmate. Just try to be the person that helps you here and there. Oh man, let me go ahead and fix you something to eat. But you cook all the time. Like that don't look like a help. That's just like, thank you for the plate. I appreciate it. But someone like me is different because I don't cook all the time. So you fix me a meal, I'm gonna be like, blessings. It's different. You know what I mean? So they need to be able to, just like we have to know what you like as a woman to be able to get access to you in that way. You need to get a chance to take the time out to learn us, because that's how we know you care. You learning us and you trying to be around us. We don't want no woman that don't want to be around us at all. Like, you know what I mean? It's a difference between trying to come around all the time and waste my time. Just want to talk to me and just be around me all the time. No. But when you coming around and then you helping, like I gave an example a while back to Shay. Like if you're a truck driver and you helping whatever, you want to see me. I'm a truck driver. I'm always going out of state and stuff like that. You might take a week off or whatever, prepare meals, and help me deliver. that would change my whole mindset. I would be throwing up like you about to help me deliver this stuff?
For
You
real.
you gonna pick up stuff?
Yeah.
That's a different level. That's dang near almost equivalent to love. You be like, all right, this girl, she, you know, let me. I just got finished with this a lot faster than I was supposed to. I don't mind buying you a bag. It's it was an investment. Now,
Yeah.
now you becoming an asset to my life. You see what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a difference. But a lot of times, the women that we've been dealing with, a lot of these men that are successful, stuff like that they deal with, are coming in liabilities with their hand out. They say that they're independent, but when the bill comes, they looking at you like, okay, this depends on if you get some. You gonna pick that up, or is this gonna be a talk about? You see what I mean? That I say for you to be married, there is no all that independent. Eventually, you're gonna have to be interdependent. Y'all relying on each other for different things. You feel
Right.
me? I would say dependent, but I don't want to throw that word out there for women because I don't want them to think that they just living off their man. I'm gonna say interdependent because even if you don't work, you're gonna be working. there is gonna be a job. If you not working for the man, you're gonna be working for me. Up under my rule. Hey, it could be dry cleaning and all that. Why pay them? You could pay your wife the same amount. My wife will be making, if I pay her and doing all these things instead of the man paying her, if I'm making $1 million a year, how about I could pay you what the man was paying you $100,000 a year to do all this work. You will have the actual job. That's why I don't want women to think, oh man, I just want to get married and all this. It's not easy. It's going to be work for both parties. I think men know it's work. A lot of women going into it like, hey, let's just get married and make things better. No, you still have the same problems you had before you get married. Only thing it just becomes catastrophied once you're married. That's it. And what do you think a woman will have to, once you do, let's say y'all do get yourself together, get everything that you need, you become successful, and now you're ready for a legacy. What is that woman gonna have to do? You know what I mean? What is that woman gonna have to bring? That's what I want to hear from Kev. I didn't get a chance to ask you that, so I'm gonna go back to you to see, hey, what do you believe? And Shay, I mean, I know y'all not there ready yet, but I just want to hear, like right now, what you're starting to think or what you're starting to see.
You want to talk about a woman that wants to help you build a legacy? That's the
Yeah,
question.
basically, if you want to when you ready for marriage, what type of woman are you gonna be looking for? Or as of right now, what do you think? What type of woman you will be looking for?
A woman that, you know what I'm saying, that you can incorporate with whatever the legacy is that you're trying to build. Just like
Ooh,
earlier, you were
I,
saying that she's gonna have to be able to, you know what I'm saying, learn the paperwork, learn the inner and outer workings of whatever it is that you're trying to build to make a legacy. If she's not willing to be a part of that, then it's not gonna work, because she's gonna see you is more focused on what you're trying to build, and
mm-hmm,
she's not part of it. She's gonna feel neglected. So she's gonna have to intertwine with that. And at the same time, if y'all building together, you know what I'm saying, and trying to build a legacy, you can't forget about the things that she wants to build as well. Once we get the legacy started and she's a part of that, then you can incorporate what she's doing into what you're doing. You understand what I'm
okay,
saying? So that way y'all building together. You know what I mean? So
that
if
makes
if
sense.
if you got one legacy going and people already know you for that, and then they mention something even similar to what it is that your spouse does, male or
Mm-hmm,
female, you can bring them in. Hey, you don't have to tell them that this is my wife, this is my husband. You can say, hey, I know somebody that does that. And then you bring them in, you know what I'm saying, you get that business started, and then you be like, oh, by the way, you didn't know this is my husband, you know this is my wife. And then now the business is already done. Now y'all
yeah.
build a personal relationship. It's I wouldn't say game, but it's just a way you can, you know what I'm saying, make things work.
No, you saying the same thing that I was saying, man, about
Yeah,
like bringing her in, her acclimated to you. You want somebody that's gonna be there and be for your business. So I
right.
mean, you saying the same thing. I agree with you. Same with you, Pat. Same question. Oh, actually, I think I already got that from you. You already said that you want someone that's beautiful. Okay, I remember that, beautiful and loyal. Pretty
Yeah,
simple.
I'm
There
simple.
you go. But
Um,
also, this is gonna be the last question of the night, y'all. And this is an interesting one. Why do majority of men have to approach females, and majority of women uh do not have to approach men?
It's a hunt. It's been a hunt from the beginning. It's a hunt. You man is on the hunt. Man is on the hunt from the time he come out. The first woman that a man falls in love with is his mama. I'm serious. You
So
you
it's a hunt. So why don't
it's
women
a
have
hunt.
to go after men?
Yeah, I bet, but you have women that's on the hunt too. You have women that actually try to get men, like you were saying about the age of 35, about the eggs that don't half of them already gone. They can't, having a risky pregnancy. Some
Yeah.
women be paying attention. Hey, my biological clock is ticking. I gotta get out here and find me a husband, like real quick,
Okay.
so I can make a family.
Yeah, they wait till they get older to start
Yeah,
doing that.
but when they get a certain age, you notice that if you I say for instance, if you take a woman that's probably in between 30 and 35, they're gonna approach men more than the young girl is. Because the young
That's
girl,
definitely true.
like, yeah, she not really much thinking about that. But you do have the young girls on the same hand that was raised by granny and you know what I'm saying, and pawpaw. And she seen the way grandma and grandfather was, you know what I'm saying, treated each other in the house. And she wants that. That's all she know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so you have those. So you can't really just cross them all out because they out there. But at the same time, for the man, it's a hunt. Like it's on the hunt. I see that. I want that. I'm finna try to pursue that. And then with kind of back off, you have a man with his Pat, right? Your name Pat.
yeah.
Yeah.
You had that laid back man. That might be his girl. He ain't gonna say nothing because he's simple. He know his girl is bad. Know his girl look good. He attracted to her. He got that in the bag. But you go to shoot your shot at that, he gonna give her that look, and she gonna walk off, and you gonna be like, you know what? I ain't fucking with that, because you gonna see which direction she go in. You know what I mean? So you can't even say you got the man that's real protective. I get the vibe from him that he is that dude that if you say something to this girl, oh bro, you got war on your hands, like for real.
Hey, no,
On
that
the
girl
move.
told you, man.
Yeah, for
Hey, I
real.
want to hear Pat. I want to hear your answer on that, man. Why do
I,
why do men got to chase after women when women don't have to chase after men?
first, I want to say it depends on the setting.
Oh my goodness. Let's hear it.
So, instant 24/7, a male is on the hunt 24/7. But like a club situation, a female could be with 10 homegirls, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you over there and y'all making eye contact. Now, if you approach that female with her 10 homegirls, it's gonna be a situation because all of them gonna have time to talk about it. They're gonna get in the huddle and discuss you. And they gonna really make the decision for the female. Even if the female's feeling you, they gonna make the decision for her. So,
Facts.
so I feel like if a female's feeling you and y'all in the club and y'all make eye contact, wait till she walk to the restroom to approach her, or she should be able to slide your way and approach you. As simple like what you looking at, like a little conversation starter, and then the male take it from there.
Oh man, y'all for a lot of great points. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be simple. When I when this question was given to me, I'm not gonna lie. Today, I had a conversation with my mom. She actually ended up saying something to me about this. It wasn't even about this question. She just started having a conversation with me and talking about men who have sex with multiple women or whatever has something mentally wrong with them. That's what she was trying to say. They need to go to counseling and stuff like that. So now, what that made me do is I can't help it, man. I do research. When people say stuff like that to me, you don't get away with that. I got to do research, do my research, and see the real reason why. Because I'm like, it's not nothing wrong. What do you mean mentally wrong? Majority of men want to have sex with majority. What do you mean? That no, it's not. That means that they mentally crazy. So I actually did research. So there's an article out there. It's by WebMD. So it's a lot of things I'm about to give out here right now. A lot of knowledge. It's common wisdom that women place more value on emotional connection as a spark of sexual desire. Women also appear to be heavily influenced by social and cultural factors as well. So men think more about sex than women. The majority of adult men under 60 think about sex at least once a day. At least once a day. Only about 1/4 of women say that they think about that frequently. So pretty much women don't really think about sex as much as men. I'm sorry. I'm a part of that one a day guy. I'm the majority. What you guys think y'all are part of the majority?
Bro.
I think
Don't be
I'm more.
scared now.
Nah, I ain't scared. It's more than once a day for me.
Yeah. Okay. It's more than once a day for me
I'm
too.
gonna be real.
Not gonna argue with that.
I know females that think about it just as much as we do, and ain't
I'm
afraid to
gonna
tell
keep going. Hey, the exception does not make the rule. You gotta remember
understood.
that. We're talking about
But hey,
majority. So
them,
men see.
the ones that think about it like us, boy. Yeah,
So
I can't answer for them because they not on here.
and
But
they be needing therapy.
like this,
I'm just kidding.
yeah,
But
they
let me.
have that.
I'm gonna explain that. I'm gonna explain why
I'm like,
there's exceptions. I'm gonna explain it in this article. It's gonna explain why there's exceptions. It says men seek more avidly, seek sex more avidly. Men want sex more often than women, or the start of a relationship, in the middle of a relationship, and after many years of the relationship, they still want more sex than women. It's just typically. This isn't just true for heterosexuals. I'm just gonna say this as a caveat. This isn't just true for heterosexual males and females. This is also true for gay men and lesbians. Lesbians typically don't want as much sex as gays or straight men. Prostitution is still, of course, mostly a phenomenon of men seeking sex with women rather than the other way around. You don't see a lot of male prostitutes. It's just that's not a reality. Women are out here just paying for D. That's just not a reality. Women sexual turn-ons are more complicated than men's. Sometimes they don't even know what turns them on, or even to seem to know what is going to get them to that status of orgasm. Some women have never had an orgasm in their life. Well, they actually, I think it was like last time I checked, it was like 40%. It might have risen higher. It was like 40% of women have not had an orgasm in their life.
I don't believe that.
that's tragic.
No, I mean, there's more into that. Like there's just a lot of women that be faking with these guys. Let's just put it like that. There's a lot of fake pumping with these guys. And there's a scientific reason behind this. And that I said all that to say this. Men have higher testosterone, which is correlated with their sex drive. Meaning if you have high testosterone, you have a higher sex drive. Women have lower testosterone with a lower sex drive. That's the main reason. That's what it comes down to, testosterone. So, and our testosterone is significantly higher than women's. Now, like what Kev was saying, you have run into women that have higher sex drive than men, right? You have the exception to the rule because you have some women that have higher testosterone, than majority of women. You know what I mean? Some women that just might have higher testosterone. Now you have to think about the lowest testosterone level of a man and then a higher testosterone level of a woman. They is having sex a lot, but not to the point of the man's desire. Because you got to remember, women have the ability to get sex pretty much at will. We don't. So you might think that she has a high level of sexual appetite because she having sex with like 10, 20 men and stuff like that. But she has access to 10, 20 men. The man with the lower level of sexual testosterone might not have access to that amount of women. Because if he did, he would definitely act on it. That's just what it is. I think all of us have hit some that we wasn't attracted to. Do you think that we would have hit it if we had access to all the women? No, we would have had choices. That's just what it is. So that's for that. Any of y'all have any comments on that?
Nah, I agree with you. And a female with a high body count is no go though.
I mean,
No
that's for a lot of men. It's really based on the guy's threshold of what's considered high to them. So I always tell women, I'm not, and I say it on this platform, don't tell a guy your body count. It's just not even that deep. Don't even entertain that. Don't do that. Stay reserved, and typically it's going to show out in your actions anyway. Because there's a statistic out there that shows women with higher body counts typically do not make good wives. It's kind of sad, but that's just it there because they have lost a lot of their oxytocin, and they are not as committed or not able to attach like they were in the past. So that's why, as a woman, you don't necessarily want to have a high notch belt. I don't know what that number is, but I guess you could say that prostitute level of high body count won't be won't make good wives. And as you can see, I mean, you can see in the world that they ain't gonna. A lot of these women that have higher body counts, they're not really good with children. They don't know how to operate with their kids. They leave their kids home and go and party and stuff like that and operate terribly. And that's really because they don't have that bonding agent in them no more as oxytocin that allows them to bond with their child, much less another man. So you got to look into that. That's just to
Well,
give a little knowledge in regards to that.
Now you do know the older a woman gets, her testosterone level goes up, right?
Well, yeah, but it'll never be.
It's a transition.
Yeah.
It's a transition.
So
The older we get, our crap goes down. The older they get, theirs go up.
yeah, so that is true. That is
You know what I
true.
mean?
The
But
only thing
you
about that is
have the
it
rule. You
doesn't
have,
correlate for relationships. The reason
yeah,
why it doesn't correlate for relationships is because the older you get, the more likelihood that you're gonna die alone. I think it's at 90%. 90%. I think it's when you get past 40 if you're single. 90% of women grow old and die alone.
yeah. Because
So
you
that
have,
whole high level, you an old lady and you like sex a lot. I mean, I ain't gonna stunt you. It's just it
yeah.
doesn't really help you out that
Nah,
much then.
it really don't. But I'm just saying. They get way more sex. I mean, I don't say all of them get, but a lot of them get way more sexual active, even if they're married or single. The older that they get, you know what I mean. But then
Yeah,
you
and
do have
only thing that does is balance it out because you got to think about when
right,
we get older, now we more secure financially and stuff of that nature. Now we
right,
want to rear and raise our children, right? So
right.
our sex levels go down and them going up. We literally just meeting halfway. That's really
But
what it is.
but you do have them old men that's out there that's 65 and 70 years old before Viagra even came out. They're still popping out babies like it ain't nothing. Like
Yeah,
serious.
because you can have babies. A man can
Yeah,
have babies until they die. It don't
but
make a difference for them, but they
it
still
ain't
want.
coming out in three pumps. You got
Yeah,
you
they don't care.
got to
They
put
do
that
not
work in.
care because you
Like
gotta remember, all men amongst all ages like women. I could pull up that statistic as well. Between the ages of 18 and 24, that's the sweet spot. That's
right,
where and it drops off significantly after 30. So they prefer women between ages of 18 and 24, and it drops off significantly after 30. And that's just the reality. I'm not saying that you can't get a man once you get past the age of 30. It's going to be a tad bit harder because once you get the older you get, typically you get more masculine qualities because you've been by yourself longer. You have to take care of yourself longer. So you have to. It's kind of like telling yourself if you're in a management position, you got to tell yourself, hey, you can't manage your household and be the manager and the leader of your household just because you're a leader at work. That's hard for a lot of women to change, and that's why they can't really chase it. And then you got to think about it: the older a woman gets, the more successful she is. So typically, she gonna want a man that's on her level or higher. So if you're in your late 30s and you're making over $100,000 a year, that's only 10% of men in the world. out of those 10% of men in the world, he's going to want a late 30s, 40-year-old, and he could go out there and pick any between 18 to 24-year-old woman. It's just what it is. And it's sad, but like everything that we have to get, the value that we get, that we have to bring to the world, we have to earn, we have to build ourselves. It takes time to develop masculine qualities, to be a leader, to be assertive, decisive. It takes time to accrue money, to be able to be economically attractive. That takes time. Women are typically born with their value. You're born typically, you're physically in shape. You just have to retain that value. And you're born being able to attract a lot of men. You're already born with that. The problem is you just have to try to retain it as long as possible until you're able to get married. Any closing remarks, anybody? Pat, any closing remarks?
Nah, man. I'm gonna holler at you when we get off here, though.
All right. Kev, any closing remarks?
Nah, man. Appreciate you for having me.
All right, I'm gonna close out like this. Close out with the questions real quick. So, are children a liability or asset to a relationship? I do believe that when it comes to men and their children, they are an asset to a relationship. And when it comes to women, I do believe it's a liability. Do you think you should work on yourself to get in a serious commitment or marriage? If so, what should you do and what results are you looking for? I believe a man and a woman should both work on themselves in different ways. I'm going to explain it. For men, I do believe they have to build their value, build their wealth, learn how to be more masculine, more sort of more direct, learn how to be leaders. And that's going to take time to do. But I do believe that a man has to build themselves for them to be even prepared for a commitment. And everything that they do for themselves will inherently make them more attractive to the majority of women. Women, I do believe you have to work on yourselves in different ways. While going to school, I do believe you have to stay physically fit. I do believe you have to work on communication and not being argumentative. Work on submission and work on validating guys to see if they're qualified. And then if they are qualified, work on being okay with understanding that guy and trying to figure out where he's lacking at. Why do majority of men have to approach females and majority of women do not have to approach women? Straight out testosterone. Majority of men have higher levels of testosterone, which make them have higher sex drive. Majority of women have lower levels of testosterone, which is lower levels of sex drive. Next week, we are going to do this again, but it's going to be an all-female panel answering the same questions. If you do want to be on that panel, shoot me a DM. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hey, you can't say who knew when I'm telling you the truth. My name is Delonte, and I'm out.